Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. To those of you who have not joined me yesterday during my live stream with Alex Krainer, check it out if you have time. We had, as always, we do have really nice conversation about the current events. We mentioned the post from Trump about Putin being crazy. We also talked about the prophecy of end of times regarding Israel. And we address the future of Africa, that in my opinion, Africa is the future. But today I want to bring to you topics from different angles, different countries, and we're going to start with this horrific accident, crime, absolutely intentional, that took place in Liverpool yesterday. A lot of those events are taking place, a lot of the same type of crime is taking place all around the world. They want people to be afraid. They don't want people to gather. Let me find this right here. I just want to warn the viewers that this video is pretty intense. I'm gonna show you how a car drove through the crowd during the celebration parade of Liverpool's Premier League victory. So you see a massive crowd gathered. The car is literally driving through people. I'm not sure if there are any people dead. I know there is a lot of people who are injured, including children. It says here nearly 50 people. It's horrific. It just makes you wonder how this was allowed to take place, right? How that car was even able to go through this crowd. I'm gonna skip to a statement from police department, and then we're gonna go to another topic. Let me just mute myself, and that is assassination on Putin's life.
People lining the streets of Liverpool, with hundreds of thousands of people lining the streets to celebrate Liverpool Football Club's victory parade. Sadly, at 6 o'clock this evening, as the parade was drawing to a close, we received reports that a car had been in a collision with a number of pedestrians on Water Street in Liverpool city centre. A number of people have been injured and were taken to hospital. What I can tell you is that we believe this to be an isolated incident, and we are not currently looking for anyone else in relation to it.
Okay, and here, in my opinion, lies the problem, because someone is behind it. Someone wants this to happen, not just in Germany, in the UK, in United States. So many places have the same kind of scenario, the same horrific crime. So who wants this to continue, right? And police allowed those cars to go through the crowd. Like how that car was even able to enter that street with so many people on that street. So yeah, I know there are many viewers from the UK. I hope you are safe. And if you leave the comments down below, I'm sure you know much more than I do about those kind of events. Let me know in the comment section. Now let's go to President Putin. I don't know exactly when this attack on his life was taking place, so apologies for my lack of details in that regard. However, I'm going to read you an article. This is pretty recent. This is from, I think, yesterday. Putin's helicopter was caught in Ukrainian drone swarm, commander says. Russian President Vladimir Putin's helicopter was reportedly caught in the middle of a massive Ukrainian drone assault during his visit to Kursk region earlier this week. Okay, so that means yesterday, right? We have Tuesday today. Amid what Russian officials are calling an unprecedented spike in UAV attacks aimed at derailing, I think I said it correctly, peace negotiations. According to Yuri Dashkin, commander of a Russian air defense division, the president's aircraft flew through the epicenter of a large-scale drone raid while Putin was touring the recent secured border region on Tuesday. So that was last week then. Sorry, guys, last Tuesday. During the visit, his first to Kursk since it was retaken from Ukrainian forces in April, Putin met with local officials, volunteers, and regional governor Alexander Kinstein. In the midst of the president's flight, the intensity of enemy UAV attacks increased significantly, Dashkin told Russia's One television on Sunday. He said air defense units managed to destroy 46 Ukrainian drones while simultaneously securing the president's safety. All aerial targets were hit. The mission was accomplished. So now, as I am catching up on the news that probably many of you already know about this, I haven't heard about it, apologies, but you know, so much going on at the same time. Now, this would explain that attack on Kiev that later on Trump addressed as Putin being crazy, because that will make sense if there was an attempt on his life and we have some kind of form of revenge. That's how I think that was the reaction from Kremlin side. But the video surfaced about Putin addressing the sanctions. Let me play this for you, because this is a kind of form of response to that post that Trump put out on Truth Social, that Putin is acting crazy. In my personal opinion, I addressed it yesterday in my live stream, during my live stream with Alex Krainer. That is all theater that we are watching. But let me play this video and we go to the next topic regarding Ukraine.
Shows that those who initiate sanctions, they are not very far-sighted. They're addressing short-term political goals without thinking about the future, without thinking about the real situation for their companies. Now, I already mentioned the case when a Western company built an entire building to manage orders from Russia. Now, light only goes on 2 or 3 floors in that building, and the rest of it is left unused. It's a good thing that they're not very far-sighted. It's bad that they have such a bad attitude to Russia, of course, because it's not a good faith relationship. But I won't go into the political details. It wasn't us who organized the coup in Ukraine. We constantly heard that democracy and the rule of law and elections are paramount, but they staged a coup, a bloody coup at that. And they went full on, tried to conquer the Donbass and killing people with helicopters. They forced us to do what we're now doing. And they're trying to make it look as if it's our fault. And the next step, and it's no coincidence that I said that one of our greatest concerns was software and cybersecurity. And of course, we also had financial institutions working actively to address this, and we had many of our people working in our foreign companies. But you managed to collect resources that you needed, and that is good.
Ну, если, значит, практика показывает, что нужно какое-то ужесточение, нужно не только контроль, но и санкции какие-то за нарушение. Кто в КГБ работал? Я или он? Уголовные надо вводить сразу. Почему уголовные? Это финансовые вводить, экономические. А я еще и по линии МИДа попрошу этим заняться активно. Ну и вот по линии Министерства промышленности через торгпресс. Надо настойчиво это делать, долбить, и мы, уверен, будем добиваться нужного нам результата. Главное, чтобы соотношение цена и качество были соответствующими. Говорю без всякого стеснения, потому что
We need to
они
get
нас
them in a
пытаются
chokehold.
душить, надо отвечать им.
They're trying to strangle us, and we should
Мы никого не
reciprocate.
выгоняли, никому не мешали.
We did not chase anyone out.
Ну, максимально благоприятные
We
условия для работы.
provided the best possible conditions to work in our market, and they're trying to choke us.
И не нужно отвечать им взаимностью.
And we
Зеркально.
should act in a mirror fashion.
So I have to tell you, I'm not sure if this translation is completely accurate, because I understand a little of Russian, and I'm not sure if this is exactly at the end what he said. Even if you scroll down through the comments section, you can see some people are saying this is not what Putin was saying. The translation is a little off. So I'm sure my Russian viewers would tap in and you will tune in and you will leave the comments as well about this. Now, as far as Ukraine goes, everyone, what's happening? Well, let me show you. Probably you heard of this already. Ukrainian female prisoners swap cells for combat unit roles. I think there's about 100 women who were in prisons and decided that they would rather join the front line. I don't know, the front line, the war, as if it's better for them. I'm gonna mute myself now and play a little bit of this video here with one of the prisoners. And we go to the next topic after that.
С дронщиками, там, с мінометчиками, з пулеметчиками. У вас бойова посада чи у вас посада тилова? Посада називається оперативний черговий. На командному пункті постоянная связь с дронщиками, там, с минометчиками, с пулеметчиками, естественно, с боевыми группами, которые находятся непосредственно на позициях.
Я хочу піти на війну, так як у мене загинув син 25 років, і через 3 місяці загинув чоловік на фронті, так, на Бахмуті.
Яку роботу ви можете на фронті робити?
Можу 2. Я вчилася на медика 5 років, медичний інститут Кичала в місті Києві. Я працювала на скорі і вчилася на повар-кондитер. Хочу йти захищати Україну, будущих дітей наших, воювати, допомагати хлопцям.
What can I say? I don't think I need to say anything about this situation. Is it choice of theirs? Is it? So guys, many of you already know the results of the presidential election in Romania. So another globalist won the presidential election. Some of you probably know, maybe you don't, that we had a march in Warsaw last Sunday. March for Freedom, as they call it, paraphrasing, freedom. And during that march, supporting Trzaskowski, who is mayor of Warsaw, who is Soros' puppet, who is standing for totally globalist agenda, running for president of Poland, he had a support coming from Romania. And this new to-be president of Romania, his name is, let me see, Nicu Sordan, who actually is a mayor of Bucharest, capital of Romania. He came to Warsaw to say in public to the crowd that he supports Mayor of Warsaw Trzaskowski to be the next Polish president, as if we now need an opinion from someone who supposed to be the next Romanian president. I think absolutely rigged election in Romania without a doubt, shadow of a doubt. But let me play you a little bit of what he said during an interview while he was in Poland. Because this is all the same gang, everyone, and they are coming here to project their ideology, to put a spell out, like they have to verbalize it. Now the next country to go down is Poland. So let me play this part of the interview in which he was asked about why Polish people should vote for the globalist Trzaskowski. And of course, I'm not for him. I actually don't believe in any of those candidates, but that's another story. Let me play the interview.
Mr. President, thank you so much for being here. Straight from this interview, you're going to the march for Mr. Trzaskowski. Why?
I think it's important that we have political leadership in Poland, which is related with our values, and political leadership in Poland, which is which will fight for the enforcement of the European Union.
Okay. What do you mean by enforcement of European Union? Where do you want the European Union to go from here? Where do you see Union in 5 years, 10 years?
So there are two or three things. First is security, and the common security needs common efforts. And I'm a big fan of this REARM program of the European Union. Secondly, we are in a global market. We are in a global competition, and Europe must be more competitive. And in order to do that, we must have aligned countries inside inside Europe. Yes, and then yes, the questions of democracy, free of speech, all these things are important. Also for the prosperity, for the economical question of.
So you think Mr. Trzaskowski would better fit your aims in the European Union than Mr. Nawrocki?
Yes, I think as I understand the Poland situation, yeah, and the last thing, it's also to the last question. Also, an important thing for Europe is to have a good response to the illegal migration.
So before I continue, because he really lays down everything what will happen if Trzaskowski wins, okay? He lays down everything. War economy, totally supporting European Union, totally supporting illegal immigration. He's talking about freedom of speech, what actually means he will push the law in Romania, that the same one will be in Poland if Trzaskowski wins, about hate speech, which means removing people. You know what's going on like in the UK, even though UK is not part of EU, it acts like that in that regard. So everything he's saying is going to be reality if Trzaskowski wins, because this is what he stands for. And if you just watch his body language, we will continue with this video, but if you just watched his body language, he doesn't seem to me like someone who really believes in what he's saying. That's first. Secondly, he's kind of leaning like this with his arms as if he's trying to find some place of safety and security, and he doesn't have the straight shoulders as a leader supposed to. That's how I look at leaders. I don't know, he seems pretty drained, pretty tired, and pretty not really sure if this is what he wants or someone told him that that's what he will be representing. You know, many puppets on the string. Let's continue because we're gonna get to the Ukraine topic. What is his stand on Ukraine?
Which is important
Of course,
for
for Romania.
for all the countries which are at the border. I think, as I understand the Poland situation, the main difference between the two candidates is so the two main differences. First, the respect for the rule of law, which is important, and secondly, for the cooperation inside Europe, which is for that historical moment, it's important.
So one of the main differences between Mr. Nawrocki and Mr. Trzaskowski is Ukraine and their attitude towards Ukraine. Mr. Nawrocki said that he doesn't want to see Ukraine in NATO, and Mr. Trzaskowski thinks we should bring Ukraine into NATO as soon as possible. What do you think? Do you think Ukraine should join NATO, or will you oppose enlargement of NATO for Ukraine?
Yes, it's so of course it cannot be done now. So it's a question for many years from now. Of course, as a Romanian, I would like to have border with friends, not with people that are not enemy, but some country which we have some historical.
I'm sorry, I had to stop because he's really struggling addressing Russia. He does not even want to say, he cannot say enemy. He's going around it. You see? Weak. This is weakness. This is weakness. This is like absolutely weakness. Sorry, I had to stop because it's just pathetic to watch this.
Bad issues, relations. Yes, but what is important for that very moment, it's to help Ukraine to have the better peace for itself, because it's a question of security for our own. First, because we prefer to have a border with Ukraine, with that Ukraine, and not with some country like Belarus. Secondly, because we have some international treaties from 80 years that gave us peace and prosperity, and it was Russia that broke that rules, and we do not want to have this kind of situation again. So that's for that reason, it's important that we help Ukraine to have the most reasonable peace.
So do you want Ukraine to join NATO sometime in the future? Not now.
Sometime in the future, yes.
Will you support it?
Yes, because as I said, we prefer to have neighbors that with whom we have good relations.
So will you support Ukraine now? Will you keep on sending armaments and diplomatic efforts to help Ukraine? Will you continue this?
Yes. I think it was a good. Even I contested a lot the Romanian politician before, the national politician before. It was a good thing that they did to support Ukraine, and will continue to support it logistically, financially Ukraine.
I think we have enough of this. I'm going to attach the link down below in the description box. Romania, I feel for you as well, because this is not good as far as this person. Almost looks like he wanted to go under the table and not really have this interview, but his masters told him to go to Poland and support Trzaskowski during the march and go on stage and say a few words. And definitely Ukraine is the best neighbor one can ask for, right? But that's all I have for you, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I will attach all the links down below in the description box. If you appreciate the content I provide, make sure to hit the thumbs up, free of charge, and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate your comments under the videos very much, so let me know. Anyone from the countries I mentioned today, please. It's always good to hear from the people on the ground, real insiders, what's going on in their land. Because we cannot trust anything we read, we see, we have to question everything. And that's all I have for today, everyone. If you choose to support my work, the best way to support the channel is by becoming my Patreon or a local supporter. You also have PayPal link down below. And follow me on Instagram, it's AniaK_44. With this being said, lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. And I will see you in another video. Bye, everyone.